Public discourse statement, talking point tennis. Well, my parents are Democrats, and they love Chris Matthews and MSNBC. Well, my neighbor and his wife, well, they vote Republican, and Fox News is the place to be. But, you know, everyone hears what they want to hear. Just pick a station, pick a side. Media outlets broadcast talking points, head-to-head, lie for a lie. Now, the old saying goes that if you repeat it enough, people will believe it's true. I mean, look, Bush got 2 wars with the word terrorist. You're either with us or you're against us. Choice is limited to 2. And television is the microphone. Corporate media echoes through most homes. And solutions are limited by the scope of the conversation, but it's most all Americans have ever known. Now the Occupy movement enters the conversation, and blue and red media outlets spin it however they can. Writing it into their own storylines, they tell their audience where they stand. Americans debating talking points over coffee. Conversation framed entirely by the man. Now, according to Fox News and Bill O'Reilly, well, the Occupy movement has already failed. Just a bunch of thugs and anarchists and crazies, and it's time to throw them all in jail. Now, general message from mainstream media: protesters failed to make demands clear. Corporate greed, wealth inequality under fire. And the coverage tends to end right here. So in steps the New York Times, impartial mainstream coverage at its best. An expensive paper for highly educated professionals. AP Wire for all the rest. And AP stories and photos in national newspapers? Well, it's chaos between police, the homeless, and long-haired youth. It reminds me of AP photos of Palestinians throwing rocks and sobbing uncontrollably. It's a small piece of a much greater truth. Now, Democracy Now! Is another media option, keeping the integrity torch lit for the investigative journalism beat. Challenging U.S. propaganda, it's a cross-section of everyday Americans that you'll meet. And if you've lost faith in Democrats and Republicans, well, hey, this is your show. But it's just another media outlet preaching to the choir, telling its audience what they already know. Now, everybody is always right, and the other guy is always the fool. Good guys, bad guys, one way or the other. Tidy as the history taught to American kids in school. Talking point tennis. Back and forth until someone seems to win the point. The crowd is mesmerized for hours. Spectators falling asleep, eating hot dogs, smoking joints. Now, the media is following the corporate model. Mergers and acquisitions in the news every week. Fewer owners, fewer perspectives, fewer voices in the conversation. The sound of spinning wheels. People only hearing themselves speak. Now, research shows that in order to get someone to actually listen, you have to express a true understanding of how they developed their point of view. Successful negotiations depend on both sides understanding what it's like to be in the other guy's shoes. So, the 2012 Democrat-Republican talking point tennis, oh, it's in full swing. Americans are mesmerized by the ball. Well, it's time to broaden the conversation between red and blue talking points. So listen up. There's lots of ground to cover between now and the fall.